One of the things that great speakers have are great stories. And great stories are not typically about other people, other people's experiences. I call those book reports. A speaker stands up and talks about how incredible Nelson Mandela was and what he did to South Africa, how he brought the country together, or some other historical figure, Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr. They talk about how incredible these people were, but the speaker is the one speaking to you. And the best stories are our own stories. The best lessons we can give the audience are our own lessons. However, if you're like me, there was a point I had a hard time finding my lessons. There were many years in my early days of speaking, I didn't think I had the knowledge or the stories or the lessons to impart on the audience. But as I grew and as I worked and honed my craft, I started realizing that there were stories everywhere. And today's tip is one place you can find some great stories. And the reason this came up, I was cleaning out my briefcase a couple of days ago, and I came across this little piece of paper. I don't know if you can see it. It's got some writing on it. And I'd taken some notes listening to somebody somewhere. I can't remember where this is. It's probably been in there for 2 years. I don't know. But it said, bad decisions make great stories. Now think about that. Most of us don't walk around and relish our bad decisions. But some of the best stories we can tell the audience are when we made a bad decision. And what it also did for me was when I talked about my bad decisions, it allowed me to confront that decision and to really embrace it and to sort of let go of it. And it didn't affect me that I had made this bad decision near as much when I got up and talked about it and shared it with the audience. So there's also a very therapeutic aspect to talking about your bad decisions. But good decisions very seldom make good stories. And the other thing is, most of our audience, and you probably heard me talk about this time and time again, most people consider they have more failure in their life than they do success. So they relate actually more to failure because the failures are the things they're struggling with. So as speakers, if we stand up and talk about our bad decisions and our struggles, and then they see us successful, they realize, oh, I've had bad decisions. I've made mistakes. And yet that person's standing up there talking about them. And there's a lot of admiration that can come because you're up willing to confront and face the demons in our lives and share them with the audience. The other thing is, behind every bad decision is a great lesson. There's something you should have known. There's something you should have taken away from that decision, why it was a bad decision, what the consequences of it were. Maybe it was a bad date. Maybe it was a 20-year bad relationship. I don't know what it was. Maybe you bought a bad car one time, or you drank too much and drove home from work. I don't know what your bad decision was. There's literally a gazillion of them. But these are the hard-hitting stories that really can relate to an audience. Now, I want to share a little concept that one of my other world champion speakers has shared, and I think he says it best, who's Craig Valentine, who's the 1999 world champion. He said, our message is our mess with age. And so we had a mess and we've had some age come by. We've had some years go by. We can look back at our mess and put those together. And that's a great message. And that's the same thing. A bad decision makes a great story. Now, I'm not encouraging you to go out and make a bunch of bad decisions so you have something to talk about. What I am encouraging you to do, though, is do a little inventory of your life. Look back on it and evaluate the decisions you made and how maybe you could have made a better decision. It would have resulted in you achieving your goals, you aspiring towards your dreams. And because you made that decision, it pigeonholed you, or it stopped you, or you wound up with consequences that took maybe hours, days, weeks, or months, or years to actually get squared away. But there's great value in that because it's going to help the other people in your audience not make the same type of bad decision and to get a look at their decisions as well. So the tip today is simply this: bad decisions make great stories, and we should really celebrate the bad decisions, bring them out, and realize that now we have plenty of speaking topics because all of us have made plenty of bad decisions, and all of us have a lot to talk about then. Okay. See you next week.